I, for the life of me, do not understand why any criminal would try to pull something like this in Texas and think no one else has a gun.
Now to other breaking news as police say a customer at a taqueria shot and killed a man who had just robbed the shop's customers.
It happened just before midnight on South Gassner in southwest Houston.
At the glass door, you can see the bullet holes. Very scary situation for everyone that was there inside. Thankfully, none of the customers, they tell us, were hurt. Different outcome, though, for the robbery suspect. Take a look in that surveillance video, which we obtained in the last hour. You can see a man dressed in black with a mask, pointing what customers thought was a gun. The man walks further inside, demanding money and wallets from customers. But then, as he was leaving, you see one of those customers jump up with their own gun. We've frozen that video, but we can tell you that he shot the suspect multiple times after watching it. In the end, HPD says the suspect didn't even have a real gun.
When you look up the definition of Texas in the dictionary, it literally says everyone and their mama has a gun.
What's this?
That's your gun. Buy some liquor, get a free gun.
Is that like a special you have on now or something?
Nope. Texas state law.
There are over 300 million guns in this country, and 90% of them are in Texas. The rest are in Florida. Why would you possibly think you can walk into a taqueria in southwest Houston, Texas, and think no one in there has a gun? Unfortunately for him, he found out the hard way. That said, not everyone who watches this video thinks this is a clean shoot. Some people feel like because it seemed as if the robber was leaving, the guy didn't have to shoot him. This may or may not be true depending on what you consider a deadly threat on your life. If you're a robber and you pull a gun on me, I automatically assume you're willing to shoot me. And if you're a robber who robs someone at gunpoint, you should have enough sense to know that if you rob someone at gunpoint, they're going to believe you would shoot them. There are some people that say, just give the robber what he wants and he won't shoot you. You don't know that. There are people out there who just want to kill, and taking your money is just an added benefit. There are countless stories of people who simply complied and they ended up getting shot anyway. Personally, I'm not one to kill someone over property. The only time I'm willing to use deadly force is if my life or the life of someone else is in danger. In this situation, when does the deadly threat stop? And it's not as simple as, oh, his back was turned. The robber already had his gun out, so the only opportunity the customer had to defend himself and the people in the restaurant is when the robber wasn't looking, which means more than likely his back will be turned when it happens. There's no audio, so we don't know what the robber was saying that may help determine if the customer had a justified fear of deadly action against him or the people in the restaurant. Sure, the gun ended up being fake, but the people in the restaurant didn't know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given him their money. If you ask me, this is a classic case of play stupid games, win stupid prizes on the part of the robber. Waving a gun, real or not, in Texas is dumb. The sad thing is the customer could find himself inside of a courtroom having to justify his actions because the law, I which personally think, gives way too much deference to criminals, forcing legal armed citizens to jump through complex legal hoops in a life or death situation that takes seconds that they didn't put themselves in the first place. Defending yourself shouldn't be this complicated, but this is the world we live in. That's why I always recommend anyone who does carry a gun for self-defense to get a USCCA membership, because with the USCCA membership, you get access to self-defense insurance. You'll also have access to their team of lawyers that specialize in defending self-defense cases and general firearms cases. It's just good knowing that if you ever have to use your gun in self-defense, you're not dealing with the added stress of trying to figure out which lawyer to call and how you're going to pay for it. And for those who are just curious about how things like this or cases like this actually could possibly be tried in court, I did a scenario-based training video with USCCA that was very similar to this real-life case, where it wasn't immediately clear that my actions were justified. I'll put a link in the description section where you can watch that video and see how complicated a self-defense shooting can get. If you just want to learn more about USCCA memberships, I'll have a link in the description section for that as well. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.